Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Dylar's Tactics. Happy Saturday. If you're watching this on the day that I am recording this, I wanted to make this video because when we started playing this game, which it's still very, very relatively new, King Arthur Legends Rise, the heroes were all kind of pigeonholed into certain, or we, I should say, we as the player base all pigeonholed certain characters. Good, bad, use here, use there, use... And the game in the last month, with the introduction of the clan boss 25 through 30, with the introduction of clan war, with the new dungeon, with forbidden dungeon hard modes, the game's a lot different than it was when we first started playing. So in this video, I kind of wanted to go through the legendary heroes that are out right now and discuss them each individually. And I also want to discuss where the heroes have changed since, because like me, you, all of the content creators, we all have videos on the heroes and a lot has changed. So if people are watching those older videos, they're not really up to date or relevant. So I kind of want to make this as a little catch-all. You know me, it's going to be a longer video, so crack a drink, sit down, just listen to this on a drive, just enjoy it how you will. So let's get right into it. So we're going to go right in. Now, it seems like especially in the last 2 weeks, this game has gotten a lot more complex. It's opened up. There's a lot of different things you can do with heroes. So let's start first with Morgan. Morgan, she hasn't really changed. Morgan is, I'm still going to call her the best hero in the game. So Morgan, you see I have her in wind. So all three relics, ice, fire, and wind, are all spectacular. She all does different things. I'm not going to rehash her, but generally we want to use fire when we want to control turn meter manipulation or turn gauge manipulation. Fire is great for PvP when you want to like boost a hero, speed them up, have them go. You know, I would say ice is more of a PvP, and then wind is more of a, you can use it in PvP as well, but wind is so nice for when you want to go up against heroes with really, really high defense, because she's got an AoE 2 defense down debuffs. And there's some crowd control in the S3. So fire is, you know, we used to think fire was the best. Now I'm kind of even on wind and ice. I'm still giving wind the edge though, but Morgan, hands down, best hero in the game. Game gives you her for free. The game really wants you to buy her wind relic. And you know what? Is it worth it? Yes, I'm not advocating spending any money, but it is worth it. Anya. Okay. Anya, she has recently become a very, 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 very close second now to me in the best hero in the game for the legendaries. And I have tried today, I have tried to go to my spreadsheet, which is linked in the description below. I have tried to shuffle them all to my current knowledge of the game. So if you see on the tier list, they're all moved around. If you look on the hero rate list, which rates them across all the dungeons, they've all been moved around. You'll even see that I've changed some gearing. And I want to kind of talk about that with Anya. So Anya is, she's just a beast. She buffs your whole team. She does insane damage on her own. If we didn't talk about the relics really quickly, so the fire relic has really, really shone this week with the introduction of the new, was it portages? The Harpy Dungeon. We're just going to call it the Harpy Dungeon. This fire relic is just a monster in that dungeon, right? Right up and through stage 10. We used to think it was kind of PvP, but then we dropped it for wind. But for going against specifically the Porridge Dungeon, and I should probably pop that up one more level. There we go, my OCD kicking in there. There we go, level 60. Done. For the Porridge Dungeon, this thing is just a beast. Now, Ice, this is where she comes in, or Frost. It's really good for buffing your attack heroes on your team. You can get by using just her ice relic just perfectly fine. It's great in Forbidden Dungeon. It's great everywhere. Wind is the PvP bread and butter, though. Wind is the best for PvP. Why? Because of her S3. Just huge AoE. Boom, 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 boom-ness. It's how scientific. But if we talk about equipment, I remember when I did my very, very first Anya video, and I was recommending, back then I was recommending a Vigor set, because I didn't have a whole lot of chivalries in my Anya. And you see right here, or right, where is it? This is it. Yeah, it is her S or her C4. You really aren't going to get the best mileage out of your Anya until you get her to C4. C4 is when she becomes the monster that she is. And somehow I've gotten so lucky in the last little bit, I took her right to C10 just with pulling copies on the last couple banners. She is something to behold at C10. But at C4 is when you really can use her and you can gear her properly. Now, there's a couple different ways you can go about this. So the counter attack with resist set is considered the base set for Anya. In my initial video, I was saying Vigor because I didn't have her C4. I couldn't really use her. But now it's coming to light that you can use, instead of the counter attack for PvP, an attack set with effect resistance seems to be really, really good. And this new set, this Ascension set, is fantastic. So let's just show you a little quick example of what we're going to do. So let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do attack. And let's do attack. So here's a situation, or here's a way you could gear her for PvP. Now you see what this does is, yes, she's going to give, she's going to damage herself a little bit. But look at my stats. So my attack has gone way up because we get 50% attack with this Ascension set. Now you're losing all the counterattack. And the reason why you might want to consider this for PvP is a lot of people pair her with Frost Morgan. And in fact, let's just show you this in action. Now, I am not a PvP guru. I am not a master by any means. But let's not go against... let's go against this guy. He's 40,000 power. It's a punch down. But this will kind of show you what we're doing. So this is, you want to use this kind of set and this kind of setup with your Anya in a situation where you're running Frost Morgan. Now, with the Serpentine, if I had a workable Iweret, if my Iweret was really, really good, I would use my Iweret in the place of my Anya. But I don't have her built up, so we're going to run this. Now watch how this works. Watch how much damage Anya will put out. Uh-oh, they're going first, though. I think this is still going to work, so watch. She patches it over. She goes boom, and then she goes boom, and they're all dead. They're all dead. Where'd they go? You know, even though they went first, Cormac was like, you know, I'm going to just take you out. Nope. Anya came along and wiped the whole team, including a Cormac. Now we're stuck in a situation where we're going to have to chip away at Nika because Nika's a thick girl. But there we go. We're taking her buffs. Ooh, so close to death. Please just finish her off. Yeah. Boom. And she is gone. That's the things that you can do with Anya if you just tweak her with the new gear sets. So we're just going to leave her in that because I'm not planning to use her in PvE. Now, again, for PvE, you really want to make use of the counter attack mechanics with Anya. So for PvE, please run her in a counter attack set. But for PvP, or instances where you want to do burst damage, this new Ascension set with her is really, really good. And I can't wait. I got just a flat attack ring. I'm trying for an attack percentage ring. And now if we're going to talk about that too, is people were always recommending crit rate. I've moved to attack percentage, or attack percentage earrings. Because I can still get, you can get crit high enough. Like you don't really need 100% crit rate. You can get high enough and good enough with 70%. You know, luck is in your favor. So now I'm recommending attack percentage earrings. See how little things have changed over time? And I know some of you in the comments section are probably like, oh, well, that's what you were supposed to do 4 months ago, Dialar. Well, I'm just learning this now. A lot of people are probably just learning this now as well. Bedivere hasn't changed. Bedivere hasn't changed at all. He still does what he does. He does it exactly the same. He is kind of finally now being overtaken by other heroes in the game, because he was the king when this game launched. He was the undisputed king. He's still a duke. We'll call him a duke. We'll give him duke status, because Iweret, man, with the other people that we've gotten in this game, Iweret is well, I guess she's not a duke. She'd be a duchess. She's pushing him out of his spot. Ceres, Ceres hasn't really changed since we first got her. We kind of all poo-pooed on her, and now we've come to all love her. You do want to run her in a speed set. The trick is with Ceres is go fast. Go fast, be the fastest, and if she is the fastest, since she has a higher base speed than Morgan, you can run your Morgan in a vigor set because Ceres will speed her up. So not a whole lot has changed with Ceres. Not a whole lot has changed with Guinevere either. Guinevere, good hero. Great support tank. She supports your heroes. She prevents abnormal status immunities. She hasn't really changed. We're still kind of running her in that Vigor life set, and she still kind of does what she does for her team. She hasn't really changed. Lot, a lot of people have come around on Lot since the beginning of the game. I recommend a speed set because Lot has a whole bunch of really crazy vigor abilities in his kit. They've tweaked him. I think it was about a month ago. They did tweak his kit. They made him a whole lot better. Like, he's got all these negative status effects that he applies on from his C3. Just again, depletion. He is just sucking the enemy team dry of their vigor. At C8, when using a skill, 100% chance to reduce vigor, 100% chance to increase your vigor. Lot is becoming one of the ultimate control units in this game. You got to get him in his fire relic. You're not really going to see him shine until he's in his fire relic, but he's just getting better. Lot is one of those heroes that's just getting better the more the game goes on. Still want him going fast. Given he's going to generate all the vigor through his kit, plus he is a natural 2 vigor hero like Nika at base. Get him going really quick. Get him doing all the control badness that he can do. Nika, I'm not going to touch on Nika very much. She hasn't really changed. She's a fairly new hero. You want her also going really fast. You do want to speed clock her, I think, just under Morgan. But Nika, once you get her to C8, you got one of the best heroes in the game. I'm working on her. She's my next hero to C8 just because of what she brings. I'm not going to harp on it too much because we know when Nika brings to the table, she just elevates any team at C8. She is now a better healer than Jillian. Jillian used to be the queen of healing. She's still damn good. I should say the queen of support. She's still damn good, but she has been displaced by the new queen. Clarisin. So when I first started talking about Clarisin, she's another hero that people were poo-pooing on. People really didn't like her when the game started. They pulled her and they're like, oh, great, I pulled a Clarisin. No, Clarisin is an attacker, but she can do okay damage. It's not going to blow anybody's socks off. She's not going to be winning any medals, but she has changed. With the introduction of CVC, Clan vs. Clan, I'm now recommending a speed set on her. So, with a caveat. If you have her Frost Relic, that's the damage. That's the damage one, right? That's the big mama. I can actually put out some big old deeps with this S3, right? Because 100% chance to charge attack gauge, she goes again. It's going to be dependent on vigor, but you put her in a frost set with a Nika that's C8, where there's a whole lot of frost or vigor being generated, man, she's just going to keep on going. But she comes in fire, and a lot of people are going to have her in fire. Now, I am recommending a speed set for her. Why? Because she's a serpent, and she goes really quick. So you see, I have her at 307 speed. 307 speed. What does that do? That allows her in fire to go really quickly, especially if you have her with a speed lead. right? And there's only really two, Lancelot and Ceres. Ceres, though, you kind of want to have a different team, but if you pair her with Lancelot and say like a Bedivere, you know what she's going to do? She's going to go really, really fast. If you put her in like a speed tower in Clan vs. Clan, make her really, really fast. Put her with Lancelot. Put a lot on that team for some vigor generation. She's going to speed up the whole team. They're all going to go. If you have a Frost Lance is going to stun or freeze people. Bedivere is going to kill people. So how I recommend to gear her now is as more of a support unit. Stats don't really matter, but you see I'm 307. I'm still 50% crit rate. And keep in mind, if she does her S2, she's giving herself another 20% crit rate. So she's still going to be at that 70% like baseline benchmark. So she's still going to be critting. But it's her S2 when you have her at C3. This is what you really need. At C3, a lot like Anya at C4, this is when you can start to use your Clarisin. So at C3, she's going to use her S2 and she's going to give 40% attack gauge to the whole team, which lets them go first and wreck. And this, you can use this in PvE situations as well. But Clarisin is definitely I've kind of changed my tune on Clarisin. Specifically in the last week is when I switched away. Actually, I was running her in a Vigor set for a little bit. Still using her as a speed battery, but a Vigor set to also, knock down the amount of Vigor spent. But now I've really thought that you want her going fast, and giving that speed to your whole team. And you can get a little bit, specifically for PvP, I think. You can still run her in like a Vigor set in the in the Fire Relic, and to do the same thing, and then you're not as Vigor hungry on your team for PvE situations. So a lot going on with Clarisin, but it's definitely, she's been elevated even more in the last little bit, in my opinion. Jillian, nothing's changed with Jillian. Nothing has changed with old Jillian. She is still the same unit as she was at the beginning. You want her in the Frost Relic because of the AoE heals. She's an attack gauge manipulator. But not a whole lot has changed with Jillian, so we're going to move on. Iweret. Now, all of you who have an Iweret, who, she is now in the common summon pool. You can get her more easily. Now, with the current event, if you're watching this at the time of this was recording, there's an event right now you can get her Flame Relic. Her Flame Relic transforms her into a much better unit, in my opinion. Why do I like the Flame Relic? You see, I've been really unlucky. 4, 6, 5, 5, nothing into her S3. And her S3 is an AoE attack. It deals additional damage if they have Mark. She puts out Mark at the beginning of battle. I'm using Iweret even at C1. All over the place. All over the place. I'm using her in the Keepsake dungeon. Right? Betty is now gone from that team. I'm using Iweret in the new dungeon, the Porridge dungeon. In the Flame Relic, because that's a wind boss. Ice, still really, really great. But right now I'm not going to upgrade this anymore because I'm putting ice into my Lancelot. I just got my Lance Frost. We'll talk about Lance in a bit. But Iweret is becoming a little bit of a monster with this Flame Relic. All right. Should we show you? No. I don't want this video to take too long. But you're going to use Iweret, or I'm using Iweret in here now. This is a wind dungeon, so fire is good. And I'm getting it done a lot faster and a lot more consistent. You can see, I can show you without you doing an attempt. That's my team. And that's my skill order. I've also upgraded the graphics on my spreadsheet for this dungeon. So you see this team and that skill order on that spreadsheet. If you guys haven't known, I have a spreadsheet just linked to the description. It's got all sorts of information. Dungeon teams, etc., 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 all good stuff. Porridge. You see, not quite. I haven't got up to, I can't do stage 9 or stage 10 yet, but I can comfortably farm stage 8, and I've gotten a lot faster using this team. Now, Morgan is in her speed set right now. You're not going to use that speed set for PvE, but we're talking about Iweret. Look, there's Iweret over there. You see, what am I doing? I'm spamming that S3. And then I got Flame Anya, which we discussed. She is a monster in this dungeon. A monster. She's evil. She's doing bad things. And she's just the, chef's kiss. These two have gotten so much better. So yes, Flame Iweret should be your baseline. Ice is still nice. I kind of still like ice for PvP, but I like fire for PvP because ice is the S3 is a single target. You can just whack, whack, whack and kill somebody, then he'll go again and then do an AoE. Oh, Iweret is just so damn good now, and he's much more accessible. She's much more accessible now that she's in the summon pool, and if you can get a selector, I'm not saying buy a selector, spend money wisely, but you can get easier access with money to get an AoE. Merlin. Merlin is still good. With everything coming to the game, I still love Merlin. His Fire Relic is great for high-level cat clan boss levels, like 25 plus. I still love him in Tarask, but not a whole lot has changed with him. Sigrun, she's kind of been displaced from the Serpent teams now with the addition of Iwi, Nika, and Ceres, but she still does what she does. I recently just got her Wind Relic. I'm leveling it up. You see, I got it all into that S. I got lucky. Where I got unlucky with Iwi, I got lucky with Sigrun, and all my skill ups went into the S3. Why is that good? Because the S3 just has big old, huge, stupid damage multipliers. 386 versus 178. How do I got her geared? She hasn't changed. She's in life and vigor. I think I'm running defensive stats. No, attack. Well, attack, defense, attack speed. I don't think attack speed's the way to go. If you get her up to C8, and I've gotten a few chivalries, C8, she's going to get that Queen's Counter at the start of battle. Then you can have her going slow and build her more to be a high burst damage dealer. So I'm actually going to change up right now this gear in live time. Let's look for life or defense with a defense substat. There we go. And it's a 5-star. Got recovery, got defense, got effective accuracy for those marks. And yes, let's do it. Boom, attack speed gone. What are we running here? Attack speed. Do we need attack speed or should we run hit accuracy? Let's see. I don't know. I think... not sure on that one. There's a lot of things you can do with that orb. But Sigrun, Sigrun's still Sigrun. She's still doing what she can do. Nothing has fundamentally changed for Sigrun since she came into the game. Tristan, we've all gotten a lot more appreciation for Tristan. With that ugly gnomish profile of his. I can't talk. That's kind of my profile too. I'm an ugly gnome. Tristan has we've come to appreciate him a lot more for his burst damage abilities. Now I am still running him in the proper set. He's in speed. He should really be in a attack set, not a speed set. Why? Because of the multipliers. I don't know if I can do that right now. Let's see. Let's see what I can do. I've been leveling up some gear. Nothing crazy. No, we're not going to do it now. But you can get higher damage, but you want to run him with like an attack set. You still want him to get high crit rate. Like you see, got him in 70% crit rate. You need that about 75% crit rate. Or 70, sorry, in my opinion. And you still want attack speed secondaries because you do still want them going quick. So I would still recommend an attack speed on those. But I'm going to test them out. And other people have tested them out. And we did a whole video on it, on attack sets. But he does better in an attack set. So he's gotten better, and we've come to appreciate him more in Forbidden Dungeon for being on some of those battles where you need him. You can check out all of the current Forbidden Dungeon clear teams on the spreadsheet linked in the description below as well. Forbidden Dungeon Hard has reset. The teams are different. There is still some of the same teams, but the qualifiers for what you need to bring into those fights are different. So you're going to experience some of the same battles, but the team lineups are all changing. And I love that. That every season they're going to change up all of the qualifiers needed for the battles. Just keeps everybody on their toes. Good job, Netmarble. That was an excellent decision. So, Tristan, we've come to like Tristan more for what he brings to the table. Claudas, now. recently. And I even up until last week, and some people are going to like this, I've been just, every time someone says Claudas, I say she is dog shit. Dog shit. But I got her ice relic. That's good. But her wind relic is pretty damn good. Why? Look at this. You can get this up to 100% chance to reduce a target's attack gauge by 30%. AoE. And 100% chance to gain attack speed increase 2 for 1 turn. Her S2 does confusion and more attack speed increase. So I'm starting to see her pop up in the wind qualifier battles in Forbidden Dungeon Hard. So if you can get your hands on this wind relic, she becomes a lot more useful. The issue is gear. You see, I have switched mine. Right now, she's in a damage set. So attack, crit rate, attack. But I still got an effect accuracy belt. But she can't reduce that attack gauge without effect accuracy. So she's never going to be a high damage dealer. But she's kind of like a Morgan. She's basically a cheaper Fire Morgan. So if you had her in wind, you had her kind of geared like a Fire Morgan in vigor and accuracy, and then that opens up your Morgan to switch from a fire relic into a wind relic for that defense down. So there's, like I said, this game has opened up a whole bunch of options for us in the last, let's say month, the last season. It's getting interesting. Lancelot. So Lancelot at the beginning of the game, he could do good things, but he's kind of niche. He was a daughter. He didn't do a whole lot of damage, even though dots we've discovered are awesome. I still got him in a vigor accuracy set. I like my gear set on him. I don't got him 6-star yet, but I wish I did, because now I got his ice relic. And this is his PvP relic. You see, I'm unlucky. I went for 5 in his S2. But you really, really need it all in the S3 because it has, freeze rate plus 20. So it's a 55% chance to AoE freeze. A lot like Merlin on his ice. So you got Merlin, who's a steed. You got Merlin, who's a steed. Lancelot, who's a steed. In PvP, between the two of them doing S3s, you throw a lot on there for a vigor battery. You throw a Clarisin on there to speed them all up. You can just lock down an enemy team. And between Lancelot and Merlin, they'll just go, and just keep them locked down. And they'll just stay locked down the whole time. You'll just chip them down. Because Merlin and Lancelot by themselves, not a whole lot of damage. Clarisin, if you're ever in a speed set, obviously she's not going to be hitting for a lot, but she's still AoE attacking. And then Lot in Frost as well for PvP. Frost is going to also add some freezes, and he's gonna help out the team. So there's a lot of cool things you can do. But just go back to him being just his base fire relic. It's gotten a lot better, too, because you can use this one as well in the Porridge Dungeon, which is good for dots. Pair him with the new hero Charlotte, who's an AoE attacker, right? And in that Porridge Dungeon, they can get a lot done. And plus, we've discovered that Lancelot is needed, a mandatory hero for Forbidden Dungeon, for Clan Boss, those 25 to 30 levels. So he's gotten a lot better. Now, his ice is one that you have to summon. It will never show up in the exchange shop. So it's hard to get. So for a lot of you, you're going to be stuck in fire unless you want to purchase a relic selector, which is how I got mine. There was a new relic selector added to the Crom Crotch First Clear package. I'm not advocating spending, but I am in a right now, top 4 clan. But usually we're in the top 3. And to stay in that, I need to pull my weight. Plus, I'm a content creator. I can write off the purchases on my taxes as a business expense, so I got it. Sergius. Fire Sergius hasn't changed. He's still a speed battery. He still does what he does. He's still one of the best heroes in the game for that. But with how the game has opened up, he is not on every single team nowadays. He's on a lot of them, but he does what he does well. He's still really great, but he's not as, oh my God, he's so God tier. You know, you use him in every single team. He's still kind of the same old Sergius, right? Vigor, accuracy. That's my only green piece equipped. Attack speed everywhere. Get him going. I think mine's even slow. I think he's like 250 speed. Yeah, 246 speed. So, still good. You want him going really, 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 really fast, though. So, you want really good speed secondaries on all your units. But Sergius is just what Sergius is. He hasn't really changed. He's still as good as he was, but he hasn't gotten any better. Gilroy, he's still as bad as he was, but at least he hasn't gotten any worse. I'm hoping it's just the fact that his kit is all built around heal disruption. Heal disruption and bull favor allies. I'm trying to spin him. There we go. Still looks cool, and that's about all he does. Still just looks cool. That's it. They will give us a unit that will elevate him, but his whole kit is this interesting anti-heal mechanic. And if you got him up to a certain level, then your heroes, I'm not sure if it's bull or all your heroes, when they hit into recovery disruption, it increases their damage. So I can see the direction that they're taking him in, but right now we're missing pieces, and he's kind of garbage. Florentius is still garbage. Don't waste your stuff on him. I did, just for the sake of trying him out. I even got his ice relic. Why do I like it? Because it does attacks on his S2. Which is, the S2 is what you want. This is all the good stuff, right? This is the reading rainbow of heroes, given how much you have to read. Like, look at this. Boom. That's a lot. Still sucks, though. He hasn't really found a place anywhere yet. Even though he's got that perma anti-heal, it's not heal disruption, so it's not like you compare him with a Gilroy. And he's weird. He's a controller that you want to build as a damage dealer, since he's... You need him to crit. You see crit rate, attack. He's got a crit rate, attack, more crit rate, right? He's a weird unit. Still doesn't have a place. Will he in the future? Maybe. Gawain, buddy, Bobby. Okay, when I made this guy's deep dive, I was just like, the word of the day was self-nerf. He just sucked. Gawain sucked. But now... we're starting to see videos of him in this big old fire relic. Look at it. And I got his ice relic. His ice relic does nothing. But I got his fire relic. And he's got this big old attack, which is one enemy 2 times. And then this one is all enemies 3 times. Not as big an attack, but it does have buff. Does have dots. It's got dots. So you can put him on like a cat team in fire. You can do good things with him, and he executes. So the thing about Gawain at C8, this is just broken, right? If the target HP is 10% or lower, has 100% chance to trigger this, which is an execute. Just kills them. Trigger solar wind. Remove blah blah blah. Attack. So when they drop below 10%. Attacking any to doing 20% of their max HP, which effectively makes it an execute. Which, in Cat 25 through 30, that's a lot of damage in one move. You can get that Cat down low, just bring in a Gawain team and just, boom, pop him off. Kill him. So Gawain's gotten better with what they've done, how the game has opened up in the last month. It's gotten a lot better. He's still not great, but he's at least better. And the new girl. I'm not going to talk about the new girl because she is literally brand new, as in like 4 days brand new at the time of this recording. Once you get her up to C8, she does good things. But I think that the team is still missing a piece. She is built to synergize with Lancelot and Vivian, who I don't have, who we're going to talk about. Those two, it's missing. There's one more piece missing, and I think that team can be a nasty team. If we get another AoE daughter, or we got our healer. Vivian's the healer. Lancelot's more of a, I think he's a control. Yeah, he's a control unit. Merlin's also a control unit. Or no, Merlin's a support unit. So I don't know if Merlin's the one that fits in on that team. But if we get another good, well, she does good AoE damage. She does really good damage. So we don't need damage. Maybe Merlin is the team. Maybe the team is done. Maybe it's Merlin, Lance, Vivian, and Charlotte. But it's okay. It's okay. She is good in, when you got her up there at C8, she can do good damage. So you can use her as a damage dealer. It's just there's better damage dealers, right? Iweret, Bedivere, they're going to do better damage without the complications of their kits, which is one of her downfalls, is her kit is too much if-then. Plus, you really want her Fire Relic. You really want her Fire Relic to make her kick, especially in the new dungeon. Wind, they're just targeting her. She's dying too quickly. You really do want it. So until they give us an easy way to get the Fire Relic, she's kind of going to be benched on most people's rosters. Now let's talk about the one hero I don't have. The single hero I don't have. Where is the codex? Right there. Vivian. All right. Vivian, I do believe, came in fire, which is what you actually want her in. I think wind is good. I think at the time, I don't know. I didn't cover her at the time she came out because I didn't have her. I never ever got her. But now, I wish I had her because she's really good in Clan Boss 25 through 30 Gorgos with Lancelot. She's starting to shine a little bit. And when she first came out, it said, nah, her kit's too niche. It sucks. Now I really wish I had her. And the only way I'm going to get her now is if I pull her from the summon pool, because she's now in the summon pool, or if I buy another selector, which I might. Next month. I'm at my budget for this month. But yeah, I really wish I had her now. She's gotten a lot better with the introduction of Charlotte and with the expansion of the game into Clan Boss 25 through 30. So, she's good. She's good. She has her uses. And she shines where she has her uses, specifically in Clan Boss 25, 30 through Gorgos. Or 25 through 30 Gorgos. So, yes, the game has changed. It's changed in the way we... with the introduction of them giving us relics in these events, like, it's just awesome. Like, they gave us two of the best relics in the game. They gave Iwi Fire, and they gave Anya Wind. That just opens up so many options for so many people. The game just keeps getting better, and I'm happy. I'm happy for it. And like I said, the whole point of this video, reevaluating the legendary heroes, because their use cases, like, sometimes you want to gear them completely different for Forbidden Dungeon modes. Like, so you want higher attack Morgan in certain cases. You want fast Morgan in certain cases. You want a vigor Morgan in certain cases. You want your Clarisin going fast sometimes. You want her hitting hard sometimes. You want her in a vigor set sometimes. There's so many different combinations you can do now. It's just so much fun. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're just going to wrap that up right there. I just thought I was sitting here thinking that. I was like, I got to make a video. And in true to form in Dialar's Tactics, this is a 40-minute video. Because I don't do things fast. Just ask my wife. No, don't. Tell me what you think down in the comment section below. I really wish I would have remembered. I said something cheeky in here when I was going through it, and I can't remember it now. So we'll just make that the word of the day. Cheeky. Put cheeky down in the comment section below. That'll let me know you made it right to the end of the video. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the game. Have a good weekend. Cheers. Peace. Bye-bye.